Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and I'm so excited because we're having a peach party today here in my kitchen. And peaches are my all-time favorite fruit to cook with. I'll show you a recipe for a fruity cheesecake that's one of Savannah's very favorites. Then we're going to take the short out of shortcake. It's a teeming tower of peach temptation. And for a fuzzy peach finish, pucker up for a peach cobbler packed with crumbly, gooey goodness. So y'all wipe your chin and come on in. It's just peachy in here. I don't know if y'all are aware that Georgia is known as the peach state. And as long as I can remember, all the pretty young women were referred to as Georgia peaches. Well, I'll tell you one thing, this old Georgia peach right here is always glad to see peach season come in. In Georgia, it lasts from maybe May to June. So it's not here for very long, so we really have to get in there and make hay while the sun shines, because before we know it, they're gone. But later on, I'm going to be telling you how to preserve some of those peaches so that you can enjoy them all year long. Earlier this morning, I picked up the perfect peaches, but I also need the perfect peach preserve. So I stopped by to see my friend Beth, who always has a huge pot brewing. Beth Linsky.
Hi, Paula.
Hey, darling.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Are you having a peach of a day today?
Oh, we sure are.
Great.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready for my jam, Beth, so why don't we get started?
There's some peaches in here.
All right, now you've had these in here what?
Just a few moments. You know, they were put
30
in,
seconds, 45 seconds?
Maybe 45. Sometimes some peaches take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge one I just got out. And then we just tip it into the cold water.
And that stops the cooking on it, doesn't it?
That stops the cooking, and hopefully we'll be
Yeah.
able to just pull these skin off. And sure enough, we can
Perfect.
just pull the skin right off.
Perfect.
And we just cut them, and they should come right off. That's it. We just take this and we just dump it right into the pot, and we can just carry it right over to the stove and put them on. And then this part comes to a boil. It just starts to simmer a little bit. And then once it's come to a boil, then we just take the sugar and we add it in. So that sits for a while.
Yeah.
And just makes jam. That's it. And then this is the finished product. This
It's
is
ready to go
beautiful
now, isn't it?
color. It's really it's ready to do it.
I mean, it's yummy looking.
Yummy, doesn't it look good? But that's what peaches are like when they're just perfectly ripe. And then it's got these nice big chunks in it too.
See, I love the chunks.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, who's going to taste it? Who wanted to taste this?
I think you want to taste it. Here we go.
I do want to taste
It's
it.
still pretty hot here.
Oh, that's all
So
right. That's all
don't let
right.
your hands get burned. You're gonna have cast iron fingers. In
I'm
the
used
jam
to
land.
hot stuff.
Ooh, it's gonna be good. And of course, it couldn't be a perfectly neat piece.
So wonderful. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing me how you do this and let me taste that wonderful jam. It was out of this world. I've got everything I need now to head back to the house and just have a peach of a day. I think we've got everything we need now, so we're fixing to make our peach cheesecake. We're going to start with our crust. We're going to start with 1 cup of graham cracker crumbs, and you can buy them either already done up for you, you can throw them in the blender and do them yourself. 1/4 cup of sugar, and 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Oh, yum, it looks good already. We're just going to swish that around until all of those crumbs are moistened. I've got 2 or 3 cheesecake recipes that I actually make, but I like this one because it's so basic and I can kind of have fun with it and just play with it. We're just going to pour this into the bottom of an 8-inch springform pan and mash that around. There's no need to try to fuss and bring them up to the sides. The bottom will make it plenty yummy enough. Set that aside and we're ready to make our filling. We're going to start with 12 ounces of cream cheese. Naturally, a Southern girl is using full cream cheese. No light for this sister. All right, we're going to mix that up. We're going to add our sugar. And now we're going to add our 2 eggs. And if the recipe calls for eggs, always use large, unless it specifies different. We're just gonna beat that until it's smooth, and we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And if you're like me, sometimes I don't always pull out the measuring spoons. I just kind of guess at some things. And now for my favorite part, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of that wonderful peach jam from Beth's Farm. Oh, look, it's just so delicious. And we're gonna beat that in. And look at that. Oh, those beautiful, beautiful chunks of peaches down in there. And let's see what we got. Let's raise it up and see what we got. All right, and we're ready to go into our crust. Just pour that directly on top. And you see those nice pieces of peach in there? You can substitute different jams if you like. If you like blueberry, by all means use blueberry. Or if you like blackberry. So, you know, just take this recipe and tweak it and make it your own. That's half the fun of cooking. Now this is ready to go into the oven. And in about 35 to 45 minutes, we're gonna have a wonderful peach jam cheesecake. And you need to be careful because probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make when baking cheesecake is overcooking it. So you want to take it out of the oven when it's still just a little jiggly in the center and sit it on the counter and let it cool to room temperature before you refrigerate.
I decided since I had so many fresh peaches, I'd make 2 peach cheesecakes. And this one's ready for some topping.
And you'll want to take a knife and just run around the edges just to make sure it won't give you any problems. Unsnap your pan. Gently lift your ring out. Voila. And we're almost there. Oh, isn't it a beauty? Now we're gonna top it with our peach jam. And we refrigerated this so it can firm up because we don't want it running everywhere. And we're just gonna spread it. See that nice little rim to hold our jam on there? Isn't that beautiful? And I'm gonna need just a little bit more because I don't know about y'all, but I like mine nice and heavy. I like to know I've got jam on mine. Beth, you did us proud, girl. All right, to garnish our little prize here, I'm just gonna take some thin slices of peach, and then I'm gonna take one of those and I'm gonna just put a little notch so that one slice can sit inside the other. And I'm gonna do that all the way around so that when each person gets a slice of cheesecake, they're gonna have a little fresh peach with it too. Isn't she beautiful? And we're almost through with this. This will be ready to go back into the fridge. And I wouldn't do this part until the last minute. If you're gonna serve this at a dinner party and say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're gonna serve it at 7, wait right before you serve it to do this because sometimes your peaches can turn on you. As soon as we get through with this, we're moving on to peach shortcake. So go fix you a cup of coffee and come right back because those two just go together.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
All right, as I promised, we're fixing to make a wonderful, easy, fresh peach shortcake. And you're not gonna believe how easy this is. All right, we've got our peaches ready. We're gonna toss these with 1.5 cups of sugar. All right, and we're gonna put a little fruit preservative. This will just keep them from browning. It won't affect their taste at all. But since we're serving these raw, I'm gonna use a little bit of that on them because I'm not gonna be serving this right away. So I don't want those peaches to be damaged or darkened in any way by the time I get them on the shortcake. Look at those. And as that sugar dissolves, they're gonna make their own syrup. And if they don't make enough syrup to suit you, I really love my shortcake just kind of sopping wet. So what I'll probably do is add a little warm water to this. And like I said, before too long, they'll be sitting in a nice syrup. All right, now we're fixing to get our pan ready for our shortcakes. And we're gonna spray our muffin tins real well with a nonstick spray, strictly because it's easier than taking a napkin or anything and swishing around in there. So our pan's ready to go. And we've got a biscuit mix and sugar. One of a Southern girl's very favorite ingredients, melted butter. Can't have too much melted butter. And we're gonna give a squirt because I just simply love the flavor of almond flavoring in peaches. And we're gonna do about a teaspoon. No, since I like it so much, let's do about a teaspoon and a half. And we're gonna just stir that up a little bit. And we're gonna add our milk in our beautiful measuring cup. And I'll give you a little hint. The less you work this biscuit dough, the better off you are. So we're just gonna stir this just until it's moistened. And if it has lumps in it, that's quite all right. Don't worry about it. Ooh, and I can smell that almond already. It smells, oh gosh, it smells wonderful. And it just kicks up a fresh peach. We're gonna use a simple ice cream scoop. We're never gonna have to dirty our hands, girls. We're gonna come over here and just drop a scoop into each hole. We want it about 3/4 full because we don't want no skimpy shortcakes. But that's just perfect. And these are gonna go into our preheated oven. Shut the door, and before we can say Jack Sprat, we're gonna be having peach shortcake. Now we're gonna move over to the finishing touch on our peach shortcake, and that's our fresh whipped cream. And we're gonna start by pouring our wonderful heavy cream that I went and got from the dairy farm myself. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of sugar, and that looks to be about a 1/2 cup. And then we're gonna start this off on about a medium speed, and we're gonna let it beat right there just for a second, about 30 seconds. And then we're gonna turn that bad boy up all the way.
There, that looks right. Sweet, fresh whipped cream, my favorite.
Our shortbreads are out of the oven, and we're gonna set them there to cool. There's a nice little breeze coming in the door, so that'll chill them for a minute. And our peaches have been sitting here soaking in their sugar and just soaking up every bit of that sweetness. And let's see if I got enough sugar. Yeah, I did. We're gonna take our shortcakes, we're gonna slice them in two. When you serve this dessert, you have to have everybody sitting there with their coffee or whatever they're gonna have them right there ready because the ice cream will melt fairly quickly on you. So we're gonna put a scoop of ice cream, your sugared peaches. How yummy is that? And then we're gonna top him and top him one more time with some more wonderful peaches and peach syrup. And then for the finale, fresh whipped cream and a sprig of mint, and we're ready to eat. Y'all don't go away because coming up next, hot peach cobbler.
I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all.
As promised, our hot peach cobbler. The first thing we're gonna do is start by melting our butter, and we're gonna melt it right in the pan that we're gonna cook it in. We're gonna put this into our oven that's already preheated and ready for our cobbler. By the time we finish our cobbler, the butter will be melted and we'll be ready to go. All right, we're gonna start with our fresh peaches, and we're gonna put maybe a cup and a half of sugar. That looks about right. Well, let's see, we'll add maybe a cup of water. We don't want them too liquidy. And we're just gonna let those dissolve, and that sugar and that peach juice is gonna make a nice syrup. And we're just gonna let that go like that. And we're gonna move on over here to our crust. You're not gonna believe how simple this recipe is. And there's no way you can mess up except by using the wrong kind of flour. You must use a self-rising flour. So we've got our flour, our sugar, and at this point, I like to stir that together and mix them together good, because when I add my milk, it won't lump nearly as bad as if I just dump the milk on top of it. So we've got those mixed together real good. We're going to add our milk. And we're going to just stir this up. We're not going to overwork this. We're just going to blend it until all your flour is moistened. And if you like, some of us are spoon girls and some of us are whip girls. So if you like a whip, by all means, pull out your whip and use that. All right, look at our peaches over here. They're going to town. And I'm going to pull those off. And we're going to see if our butter's melted. And it has. And when I say butter on this one, please use butter, because it's so much better than the margarine. I think maybe I should have pulled out my whip too, y'all. Yeah, baby! Remember, y'all, the key to this dish is self-rising flour. If you've got flour in your pantry and you're not sure what it is, go ahead and add a teaspoon of baking powder to it. It won't hurt it. If it's self-rising, it'll just puff just a little bit more, but it won't hurt it. All right, we've got our stick of butter melted, and we've got this wonderful batter that we're just going to pour right on top of that butter. Get every speck of that wonderful crust out of there. And now we're going to ladle our peaches. Now, I've told you the most important part of making your crust. Now I'm fixing to tell you the most important step in seeing that your cobbler turns out perfect. We're going to just lay our peaches on top of our batter, along with that wonderful juice. Look at those peaches. Are they just not beautiful? I'm going to tilt this up some so that we can get that wonderful syrup. Now, the most important thing is to not stir this. In about 45 minutes, we're going to pull this out of the oven. You're going to have the most unbelievable, thick, wonderful, buttery layer of crust on top of those peaches that you've ever seen. So do not stir. And this pretty baby is ready to go into the oven. And if you like, sprinkle a light topping of ground cinnamon on top.
I have another cobbler in the other oven that I started earlier, and it should be ready now.
Oh, I believe we have another perfect peach cobbler. See that beautiful thick crust I promised you? This recipe is magic.
I'm going to dig into this while it's good and hot.
Look at that beautiful, hot, steamy peach cobbler. The weight of the peaches went to the bottom of the pan, and the lightness and the additives in your flour brought it to the top. Now you can serve this wonderful cobbler with either fresh whipped cream or ice cream. And next, I want to show you how to have fresh peaches for your fresh peach pies year-round. And in the meantime, I'm going to sample this to make sure it's good enough for you. And it is.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
I've been cooking peaches all day long and I still got a lot left. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to take these peaches and put them in your freezer so that you can have fresh peach pies all year round. You take your peaches that have been tossed in tapioca, quick cooking tapioca, sugar, lemon juice, and salt. You take your pie pan, line it with your foil, line your foil with a plastic wrap, dump your peaches in, seal it up, pop it into the freezer, and when you're ready to bake your pie, here's one that's already ready. You just simply take it out, take the plastic off, pop it into a pie crust, top it with a pie crust, and you've got a wonderful fresh peach pie in January. I've had a long, hot day in the kitchen today, so I'm going to finish my day with a nice glass of lemonade, and I have prepared myself an extra treat. I have peach ice cubes. And I'm going to top it with one of my favorite things, fresh mint. And that's going to be a wonderful finale for Peach Day. To go with my creamy peach cheesecake, my sweet peach shortcakes, and don't forget the scrumptious peach cobbler. I hope y'all have had a good time with me today. Remember, sometimes life can be hard, so try to make your cooking easy and fun. And until next time, America, best dishes.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.